Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Superstars of Wrestling Review series. The March 27th edition, 1993. We are a week away from WrestleMania, and Lee Armstrong is the opposition for Crush. Crush being pushed maybe third or fourth match from the top overpowers Armstrong. Of course, that match from the top is against Doink. Crush has a little difficulty getting the enhancement talent up for his normal press slam, but does finally get him up there. Strikes the Shaka pose, and Crush looks like $1,000,000. Tosses him being Armstrong back in. Back leg round kick by Crush, among other things. Crush hits a backbreaker as he normally does. Hits the cranium crunch and the successful win. Then we see Jim Duggan at a lumberyard sawmill type place. He promises to get a USDA top level 2x4. Not USDA, but you get my point. Top grade 2x4 to knock down Yokozuna. So here's a babyface promising to use a weapon to vanquish a foreign heel. That makes sense in 1993. Probably doesn't make sense in 2020. The Head Shrinkers versus Curlis and McGavin. Head Shrinkers going into match with the Steiner brothers in a matter of a couple of days here. And, you know, Head Shrinkers still a top or moving towards being a top team. They actually go into a feud with the Smoking Guns for quite a while in the spring and summer of same year. They pulled the hair out of the enhancement talent a little bit, a little rough, little snug in there. Um, Send in the other enhancement talent, bring him over the top rope the hard way. Steiner Brothers cut a promo. Basically, they're not intimidated by the head shrinkers, is what they have to say. Power bomb by one of the head shrinkers and a top rope splash. 1, 2, 3. It's over. The event center plugging really weird stuff. They do another promo with Bam Bam Bigelow promising to be the champion at one point in the future. Reverend Slick still plugging the Bigelow match at WrestleMania, even though it doesn't happen. And Shawn Michaels plugging his match with Kamala. Or, I'm sorry, Shawn Michaels with Tatanka here in this particular environment. Macho Man cuts a new Slim Jim commercial, this time in a library, basically snapping into a Slim Jim and disturbing the librarian indirectly. We do the contract signing courtesy of Wrestling Challenge, which is ridiculous. 1993. So we're 2003, 2013, 2023 will be 30 years. So we're like 27, 28 years um, into this, and we're still doing contract signings. Bret Hart promises to win, doesn't take his eyes off Yokozuna during the signing process. They get several minutes out of this. Yokozuna shoves the table that they're signing the contract into Bret Hart. Bret Hart gets sucker shotted with a shot to the throat. Yoko hits the bonsai drop. Bret staggers to his feet after several minutes. I mean, it's well done, but the fact they're doing it nearly 3 decades later in almost every major world championship match as a contract signing is just stupid. That they haven't evolved in that length of time is really dumb. And the fact that they did it all the way back, actually, I think the first one I remember is Andre Hogan in '88. So they've done it in over 30 years. Speaking of doing things a little too much, Dwayne Gill and Barry Hardy versus the Nasty Boys. Nasty Boys going to town. Brian Knobbs hits a clothesline to the back of the head of Hardy, and not to be confused with the Matter Jeff, pump handle slam by Jerry Sags. Tag in to Dwayne Gill. That doesn't bode very well for Gill. Gill is on the receiving end of the pit stop, and then we move to the WrestleMania 9 report after a power slam elbow drop, top rope elbow drop combination by the Nasty Boys for another victory, which at this point the victories don't mean nearly as much. We move into the WrestleMania 9 report. They hype all the matches that are upcoming. Nothing really major here a week out. I mean, nothing that we haven't heard before. I will say, WWE did really good at hyping at this point, four, I guess by the end of this year, five pay-per-views. I miss the days when pay-per-views were at least 2 months apart. Anyway, Ted DiBiase manages to talk a lot about how Hogan and Beefcake won't handle things. Hogan and Beefcake promise to win. They basically make Beefcake's mask seem indestructible. Jimmy Hart says he's encouraging Hogan to inject himself with kryptonite again. Talk about goofy. But anyway, that is promos for Hogan and Beefcake in 1993. Nothing but goofiness. The Intercontinental title match is plugged. And obviously that's Shawn Michaels and Tatanka, Undertaker, Giant Gonzalez. Undertaker says that Giant Gonzalez will rest in peace, and basically that's where we go. The only people resting in peace were those who were surprised that the match even came off as non-disjointed as it was. We then move to the Narcissist Lex Luger versus Kevin Neal. I don't know why Narcissist is in this position right on the heels of WrestleMania, like a week away from it. Of course, they do have a show on April 3rd, I believe, less than 24 hours from it. But still, why waste Luger in this particular spot? The women are solidly behind Luger. I don't know if they're plants or whether literally women were into Lex Luger at the time, but you go around the arena, there's at least half a dozen women during the open of this match that were enamored with Lex Luger. Luger punches and kicks, forearms to the back of the head. He does hit a power slam. He does manage to get himself handled. Then we see him hit the running forearm. 1, 2, 3 gets the victory. The final push for WrestleMania 9 includes Head Shrinkers plugging the Steiners match, which we've heard before. Weird because, well, Offa doesn't speak much English consistently. He speaks it some weeks, doesn't others. And then they're plugging Crush and Doink, and Crush promises to get his revenge on Doink. They're plugging Call Your Local Cable Company, and we're closing the program on that note. We go back to the final shot of Yoko hitting the bonsai drop on Bret Hart as we close the program, and we will be back right after this.